Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Raggedy Pack, the season finale of Demon Slayer. This has been almost a year in the making, given it has been put on the back burner a couple of times here for the channel, but we have finally made it. Yeah, I've actually really enjoyed these. I'll admit it. As for those of you that have been here since the beginning, I haven't been the biggest fan of this series. I found it enjoyable. I just haven't super liked it. But I'd say these last 4 or so episodes, I've really liked them, to be honest with you. And I don't know if it's the humor has been perfectly balanced. I'm not sure what it is, because I did like those episodes when they were fighting the Blood Moon. It's just like these last ones, I've actually sat here and I'm like, wow, these are really enjoyable.
Well, maybe these kind of give you more to the characters.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. And Zenitsu's being less stupid in serious situations. Maybe that too has something to do with it, but I'm not entirely sure. But it doesn't matter because, well, this is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, last episode we got some backstory on Kanao. I'm still probably butchering that pronunciation, but that's okay. Zenitsu and Inosuke decided that they were, it might have been the episode before, but decided they were going to bust up their training because they were getting frustrated, which, well, they kind of sucked. So what else happened? Tanjiro graduated. They got their new swords.
Oh, yeah. Inosuke busted up his sword with the rocks and almost got killed for it.
Had to put his own little custom spin on it, that's for sure. But
there's a lot of funny scenes and things in this anime. That might be one of the funniest to me, is the sword forgers getting mad and wanting to kill them for damaging and breaking the swords.
Yeah. And it was just funny too, because it was like the more rational guy was chill.
Yeah.
And then he sees Zenitsu go just absolutely destroy his sword, and I'm like, yeah, he's about to lose his mind. But yeah, man, this is fun. I'm really excited to watch this season finale, and I'll have more thoughts after it, where we can talk about potentially the future of the show on the channel. But I think that's really all I got to say now before we hop into this reaction. You ready?
I am ready, more ready than I've ever been.
Ooh, all right. Well, before we jump in, if you enjoy this episode, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss season 2 Demon Slayer or any other things we have going on our channel right now. We will have a 2-week early access coming back up for season 2 of Demon Slayer on our Patreon. That link is in the description below, along with full-length reactions available on that Patreon. But those are 2 separate tiers, so be sure to check out which one you're going for there. We have a free Discord that you can join. That link's down there as well, along with links to all of our social medias. And with that being said, let's get into the finale.
Let's go. All right, well, that was Demon Slayer.
That was Demon Slayer, all right. I mean, for as much as I didn't like it, I think that has more to do with Attack on Titan than it does Demon Slayer.
That's something huge to compare it to.
And so, because I like Attack on Titan so much, it's hard for me to like something else, I guess. I don't really know. I'm probably small brain.
Be like me finding a really solid, fun indie arcade shooter on Steam or something and playing it and enjoying it, but then trying to compare that to Call of Duty, Warzone or Cyber Attack with the boys, some of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
It's still good in its own right, but you compare it to that, it's like a different level,
Yeah,
AOT,
for sure.
One of the greatest things to ever be made in all of media. That's our opinion, of course, but I think a lot of people feel the same way.
It's fact.
Oh, it's fact according to Blake. And then Demon Slayer, I would just say it's good. Throughout, it's got it's serious moments. It gets dark at times. It's funny. The characters are well fleshed out. The music, it's got like a good backing track with like the creepy singing and the I don't even know what the instrument is, like a sitar, drums. Yeah, it's like it's got a lot going for it.
Yeah.
And I like the way they ended season 1 and how it sets up for season 2. And I told you this last episode, but the movie's a banger, like on this train. So
okay. Well, I mean, I don't really know. If I had to rate it, if we can break it down into that, like that small of a way to talk about it, I'd give it a solid 8.
Oh, that's generous of you, because that's my rating for Demon Slayer. So I thought you'd be
so
like
let me lower it.
Like
let me
7.
lower it. The things I didn't like were the pacing seemed a little awkward at times. Like some stuff was just like shoved in there. And then the humor seemed misplaced, and there was just so much that I was just confused on. And not confused because I'm watching a show I've never seen before, confused on like, why is this happening here? So one thing that I like that is recent, because again, we started watching this in February of 2022. One thing that I can recently remember was actually last episode when we got that little bit of backstory on Kanao.
Yeah.
I'm like, why there? And I guess she'd like flip the coin like right then. So then they went to that flashback, but I'm just like, just seemed a little just like iffy. Like why there? Why so short?
I guess they had to do it at some point.
At some point, but I think it just would have
fit it into the end of season 1.
Yeah. And I think that's really, there was just several of those moments where I was like, But I think the show succeeded the most when it had, like, let's think of the episode when Tanjiro is fighting Rui.
Yep.
And he has that flashback of his dad with the fire breathing. I thought that was perfect.
I mean, that's
like
my
that's
favorite
honestly
part of the anime.
If that like 6 episode arc was it, obviously, that's not reasonable, but if that was it, like, oh man, this would be one of the most fire shows of all time.
Yeah.
So I think just narratively it struggled a little bit at times. But the things I did like is I really liked the action. I've started to like animation and find a greater appreciation for animation, which I'm going to be honest, if we hadn't started this channel, I don't think I would have ever even approached Attack on Titan. And my anime taste would have begun and ended at Kuroko no Basket and Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And so I know, Corey, behind the scenes, we'd talked about tagging in Igly for season 2. I think right now, I kind of want to, I kind of just want to do it.
You want to watch season 2 yourself?
Yeah. Well, no, on the channel with you and Igly. I think.
Oh, with Igly, you want a 3-person reaction to Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool because for some lore for all of you, I have watched. I mean, I mentioned this multiple times before, but I've watched Demon Slayer multiple times, including with Igly. Me and him have watched season 1 together, and I think we were going to watch the movie, but we never did. And like I said, season 2, the beginning of it, I believe it is the arc that is the movie. So if we go right into season 2 together, like that would be completely new for you guys. And then like after that train arc gets over, it would be all new for me.
Yeah.
So that'd be dope.
Well, so one thing that I'm thinking of right now is how we can work the movie in, because you said Igly's seen the movie.
I don't think me and him ever watched the movie.
Okay.
I've seen the movie.
Maybe Igly and I react to the movie and then we jump into season 2.
Yeah, the only thing is, like I said, the movie and the beginning of season 2 is like the same arc. So you'd essentially be reacting to the same thing. But the movie is really good.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm not.
And the thing is, like, that's the problem. I don't know if it's like exactly the same but cut up, or if there are differences between the start of season 2 and the movie. I'm gonna assume like it's slightly different.
I would assume so too, but we
Yeah.
can figure that out as we go.
hmm I'm glad you want to
Um,
continue watching though, because I know like you were saying you didn't really like Demon Slayer like that. Or you were
yeah, but
like kind of on and off. You were in like a relationship with it that was toxic or something, but it was
toxic
one-sidedly
relationship. Yeah,
toxic. You just hated Demon Slayer. It did nothing but give its all to you.
and I think
AOT just better. It's like the
right.
one meme someone needs to Photoshop you like next to Demon
Looking,
Slayer. Demon Slayer's looking over at you and you're looking back at AOT like,
yeah, like
yeah.
ooh, that's fine. And I think it's just there. I don't really know if there's been anything that bored me on the channel. Like I think everything we've watched, I've somehow, some way liked, and so struggling through the middle parts of Demon Slayer was something that was new to me. Because again, there just wasn't anything that I remember watching that I was like, wow, this freaking blows. So, just an adjustment period. We're still a new channel. Just gotta go with the flow sometimes. So we're flowing with the go into season 2. That's what we're doing.
Yep. Now I said I would tell you some theories and stuff that I
Okay.
had about like Muzan, the master, Tanjiro's dad. I think I briefly talked to you about this after episode 19 or 20. But yeah. So obviously Muzan is obsessed with those Hanafuda earrings, or however you say the word.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's it. And we know Tanjiro wears those now, but his dad wore those. So I'm assuming Tanjiro's dad was a really big deal. And I know what he did was called fire breathing. And as
Right.
Shinobu told us, that is not to be mistaken with flame breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And also when I forgot who told him, but someone told the master that Tanjiro or like his dad did the fire dance or fire breathing, and he was like, "Oh," like he seemed kind of interested. And you see that like his face is kind of burned up.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Tanjiro's dad, like at one point, he was fighting either Muzan or the master or both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we know he had an illness. That's what they said he died from. You could see like the gaunt in his face. He was sick, but I don't know if like he actually died from that or if one of them killed him. Like you said, the master's definitely sus, but we know
I
for
think
sure Muzan's evil.
I think a lot of them are sus, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's just something. I would even venture to say like Muzan may be related to Tanjiro's dad in some way. Could he be his dad? Not sure. Something or another in that department is where I'm personally leaning. Because again, Muzan is so infatuated with Tanjiro.
Yeah.
And so like your theory absolutely makes sense too, but there has to be, in my opinion, there has to be something more there. And it's not, it could be Muzan, it could be the head demon slayer. I doubt it would be the head demon slayer because with him being there in front of Tanjiro and not saying anything, that wouldn't make any sense. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I think fire breathing is really powerful. It may be one of, if not Muzan's only weakness. That's why he's like so obsessed with killing Tanjiro and those earrings.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, there's definitely some interesting thoughts there. And I'm really wanting Nezuko to talk. Like I think it adds a unique element to their relationship that she can't. But I don't know. To me, that's just like I'm really looking forward to that. It feels inevitable.
Yeah.
that she'll eventually talk, because I feel like all demons speak. Why can't she?
Yeah. Agreed.
So
Because it's not like she's trying to attack anyone. Even if she didn't have the bamboo in her mouth, I don't think she's
Right.
gonna chomp on anyone.
I think it's inevitable.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly kind of looking forward to it. So I feel like that'll just be a very interesting addition to their relationship, and Nezuko and not Nezuko, Zenitsu and Inosuke as well. And I was kind of hoping that Kanao would go with them to the fire train, but I imagine they'll eventually have a team up.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see her again.
Seemed a
As
little
well as
too
other characters.
she was looking at him like she was in love with him. They talked about love. I'm like, yeah. Or at least Kanao is definitely falling in love with him, but
That's the first time we ever saw like any emotion in her eyes. Like when he said, "Follow your heart," her face kind of lit up.
yeah.
She was amazed. Like, wow, he was gonna flip the coin more than once. Unfathomable.
Well, it's all I got.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the movie is definitely going to be in our plans here pretty soon.
All right, we'll have to.
I mean,
talk to Igley about it.
Yeah, that'll be something for sure that we're going to be looking at, because now I'm invested.
That's good to hear. I'm glad you finally came around at the end.
Yep. All right. Well, I mean, that's a fatty discussion. I think that's really...
Yeah, that's recapping a whole season and over or around a year of us watching, so justifiable.
Yeah. Well, you got anything else you can think of?
Nope. I think we covered all we needed to cover, and now we just look forward to the future of slaying demons.
All right. Well, this is the end of season 1, but not the end of Demon Slayer. Like we said, look forward to that movie coming out within a few weeks of this episode dropping. I'd imagine this is we're 6 weeks roughly from now is when this episode will be airing. Yeah, I'd say somewhere or after that, give or take a couple weeks, the Demon Slayer movie will be on the lookout. If you want updates on that, join the Discord. That link's in the description below. But if you enjoyed this reaction, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you definitely then will not miss when that movie drops. We have a Patreon account where you can get the full length to all of season 1. That'll all be out there. And then once season 2 comes back, that'll also be 2 weeks early access. Those are 2 different tiers. Be sure to check both of those out before committing to one of them. Like I said, the Discord link is down there in the description with that Patreon link and social media links. And yeah, see you guys for the movie.
See you then. Take care.
Get my end button.